You are now in tune to the Enlightened Society, first installment. I appreciate every subscriber, everybody who tunes into EO Radio. It means a lot to me. Everybody who has been fucking with the music, with the risk taker movement, with the EO movement. Shout out to Old Mello, just dropped that DFT, produced by Nexus Minotti himself. Shout out to Serge General and Flow Higher Radio. I have a super special guest, someone I'm excited to pick her brain, give her thoughts on these topics we're about to talk about. Higher Elevation is her production company. If you live in Tampa and you are a partaker of Mary Jane, you might have heard of her or her events. I have not been privy to attend one yet, but October 29th, Smokus Pocus. Is it Wire Mama?
No, but we don't give out location till the day of. But it
Okay.
was going to be, but it is not.
So in a location outside of Tampa,
Right.
we will be rocking
But it isn't there.
and rolling. So I'm excited to partake in that event, to perform, to have my artists come out. Branded by Money, which is my merch business partner, does all my merch. Will be out there vending. So Shine, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I'm so happy to be here.
Fresh off a cruise.
Fresh off a cruise.
How was that? How was? Are you a frequent?
I am a cruiser.
Yo, I heard after you do like 7 or 8, like you get to skip the line and just
Yo,
go
you
straight
get- it
to.
depends
They
on
get you
the-
mimosas.
It depends on the line. So like Carnival and other like different cruise lines have different rewards they give you, and your card turns different colors the more trips you take. So like a first timer is I believe the first timers are red, and
Okay.
then after you book a few cruises, then you go up to blue, then it's like silver, gold, whatever, boom boom. But my daughter and I have been doing it since we got back to America, and yeah, so we're just trying to book up some trips and
Yo, you know what's crazy
Yeah.
is that I never been on a cruise for one reason. Which I've done 2 of their funerals. I've had 3 friends go on cruises and die.
what?
On God, 2 died from like embolisms because they like when you get off the cruise you could do shit.
Yeah.
They went scuba snorkeling, not scuba diving. They went snorkeling, and one had a heart attack. One had like a blood clot.
So they
They
didn't
both
know that they were
died.
sick?
Yo, they were healthy as can be before they went on a trip, and then the other one just had a stroke. Just
Was that during COVID?
nah. This
That's
was
so
like
strange.
yeah, for real. So
To
I've
be two
been
separate events.
so like for me it's like there's 3 of them I know. I had to do the the what's it called, the when you speak at their funeral, when you do their
Like at the memorial?
yeah, when you
The
do the
wake?
speech, the fucking
Obituary?
the not the obituary.
No, not the obituary.
Anyway, I did whatever it's called. I had to do their their farewell. So like I've been like, man, I don't know if I want to go on a cruise. I feel like it's bad juju. I think the Lord's telling me not to go on one.
But you don't believe whatever your life is, it's already written? You don't
Who,
believe
me?
that? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I used to be a pastor.
Okay.
So like
I definitely believe like
my
your
shit's
story's written.
ordained. I feel like it's already what is gonna happen is gonna happen for sure.
Right.
Yeah. So I just feel like but there's also free will.
Mhm.
So I just feel like maybe the cruises ain't for me.
Well, I think that if your death is supposed to be on a cruise, you're gonna find your way to a cruise, regardless of what you think. Like, you might be like, "Oh, I'm never gonna go on a cruise," and then they're gonna be knocking on your door, like, "You won this cruise, and we're giving you
No, thank
extra
yous.
money." And
No,
all
thank
this
yous.
stuff. And
That's
it's
all right.
for your whole entire. It's gonna
No,
be
thank
so appealing to you that you're gonna
No,
go
I'm good.
because your life's already right.
10 stacks.
Right, 'cause
Man.
if that is your final destination,
I got a pool at the crib. I got a nice in-ground pool at my house. You
It's
know,
not the
I'm
same.
Gucci. I live in Florida. I'm like 20 miles
not
away
the
from a beach at
same.
any time.
it's not the same. They don't even look like the beaches all over the world.
And to be honest with you, the other thing is just the human rights factor of cruises really bother me. So I'm just not a fan of that aspect. Which I'm not gonna get into all that, but the way they treat their employees the pollution that goes into cruises.
Yeah, the employees that have
I'm
the
just
choice
not.
to work under those circumstances or not. Yeah,
Yeah,
but they
yeah.
have the choice to work under those
That's a good
circumstances or
point,
not.
but there's still,
They're
when
not. This isn't slavery time, so if they are not treated right, then they can go to union and they can create things like that. So that's all on them at this point.
sure, sure. I mean, but I mean, there's more slavery now than ever in the history of humanity.
Of course, I used to live in Kuwait. That's like
So like,
number one slave.
but that's cool.
Yeah.
Look, I have no judgment. My family goes on cruises. My good friends go on cruises. I'm not trying to like guilt you or anything like that.
Oh, you wouldn't.
I know it seems like definitely you are not guilted whatsoever. You're the spokesperson for Carnival at this point. She said they got a choice, motherfucker. They want to work or not.
Right. I had, but it's funny because I had conversations with the employees on there, and they were telling me how awful, like how many hours they have to work, and I kind of like was like, oh, I used to be in the Navy, so okay, I know about those 16-hour days. Like, come on, there's other jobs that you
I mean,
work
it's
like
a
that
little bit
too.
much to compare being in the American Navy to
Yeah, but we weren't getting paid what they're getting paid.
A Filipino is getting paid
In
3
the
cents to the
Oh
hour.
no!
You feel
Let's not be confused. When you first join the military, your paycheck is like $1,000 a month. I know that people out here think that it's something else, but it really isn't.
Yeah, going as an
Like-
officer for sure. Definitely
Right,
get
but
your
that's what I'm
AA.
saying,
Going
like,
off
you're
as an officer
working
and get more bread for sure.
7 days a week, and you're getting paid like $1,000 a month, and you're expected to live on the ship. So yeah, we're pretty much working the same as those cruise people.
So, I'm not super close to you, so I'm not gonna act like that. But from a distance and the few encounters I have with you, you definitely have been a person that when I do look at your socials or hear you speak, number one, I do have to say your story. I don't know if you were up all night. I don't know what was going on with that. But your story rant, with story is fucking delicious. So I get it. You feel me?
I refuse.
But that story situation you was having, that revelation or that
Who sent them?
so let's talk about that a little bit. That wasn't in my notes, but explain the whole story confrontation you had that morning. You're like, where the fuck did story come from?
Like, it really wasn't just that morning. I've asked this question several times, and I'm like, yo, fucking Starry came out of nowhere and bumped like 7-Up, bumped Sprite. And I'm like, if they're on the same team, why are they over here bumping these people? Now I'm hearing that it's replacing Sierra Mist.
It did, yeah.
But I've went to restaurants where they have Starry as the only choice. And I'm like, how does that happen? How do they infiltrate the soda line to where they just coming in like hot, like, bitch, I'm in here, fuck Sprite, fuck Coke. Fuck this. Like, how did that happen?
Because it's fucking delicious. That's why.
Who sent you?
Yo, you guys had Starry before?
Hey.
It's like a lemon lime soda.
And then they be trying to get it over on you without like telling you. I feel like if I go through the drive-through and I'm like, yo, I want a Sprite, they'll be like, shh, and this ain't no damn Sprite. This is Starry. You're not gonna fucking trick me. And I'm just gonna be the nicest person ever, but please tell me the truth, please.
So let me ask you a question. Were you like a pure Sprite fan or a pure Sierra Mist fan or a 7-Up person?
I don't even drink that clear stuff like that.
Okay.
I drink Pepsi. So,
Pepsi?
but yes. But honestly, I like soda. Like, I don't feel like I'm biased on soda. I like any sodas. You can give me a Crush. You can give me Fanta.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't even care. Like, I'll drink all of them. If I had to pick, I mean, I'd do pineapple, but, yeah. So, but they don't always have
pineapple
Fanta
is incredible. But
no,
if you Latino, if you're a Jupiña, Yo, Jupiña is the greatest.
No, that's not the. I don't want to say it. It's the J-A. Yeah.
Which one?
No, it's J-A-R. Jaratos.
Oh, Jaritos, the Mexican. Jaritos, yeah, that's the Mexican joint.
I love that
The pineapple one?
Woo.
Oh, that's just fire as fuck. Yeah, for sure.
I love it.
The glass bottle makes a difference.
It does.
Absolutely.
Make sure you open that before you drink it. Make sure they open that.
Oh, for sure, because you gotta get the bottle opener.
You go home, try
but
to
use
do
the rings.
You ain't never.
Yeah, I just use the rings. Sheesh. My rings, I learned that a long time ago. Yeah, you just bop.
I've been in the predicament and I haven't had one. But
the whole lighter thing, I never tried the whole lighter to open a bottle before. I feel like I'm just gonna explode. My paranoia doesn't allow me to do it, even though that's a little OD. But for real, I feel like it's gonna explode.
I had chunks of pieces of lighter coming out.
You feel me? Yeah, I just use my rings at this point for sure.
I tried to do the side of the table because I seen like a cool video,
I do that too. Yeah.
but I'm not cool, so
Fail.
yeah, it
It was a
didn't
fail.
work. Yeah, I think I fell.
Mm.
Not failed, but I fell. I think that's what happened. I think I was trying to do it and did it so hard, and like I was like,
That's hilarious.
I don't
All right,
know.
so before we get into it, explain to the audience that might not be aware of you. Is it fair to say that you are a cannabis advocate?
Oh, definitely, definitely.
And
Hemp,
and
cannabis.
what brought you to that?
Um, honestly, it's funny. Looking back through like my Facebook and stuff like that, that goes back a long time, and it's so funny because I'll see things from like 14 years ago where I'm like showing my weed and shit, and I'm like talking about the different terps and stuff like that. And this was like 14 years ago, and I was still that person. I was the person that everybody like came to ask about different kinds of marijuana and like what makes one different from the other, all kind of stuff like that. And I've always been that person, always been the one that's rolling up, teaching people how to roll up and stuff. So I think like definitely my past always brought the evolution along the way. I mean, it does help that my dad is an avid smoker as well.
Oh, so
So
you grew up around it.
well, I didn't grow up with my dad, but yeah, since the age of 17 on, like, whenever I have issues or problems or just to hang out, like, my dad and I are always smoking. That's like the first thing. I walk in the door,
That's
roll
dope.
up a blunt,
That's
whatever.
dope.
So that's always been like a part of my life since I've been smoking. Like, I didn't start smoking until I was an adult, till I was,
Me too. I was 26 when I started.
yeah, I think I was 19. Um,
I
yeah,
was
I didn't drink or anything like
16.
that.
You were 16. That
16.
makes sense. High school age for sure.
Well, I
Serge
mean,
looked like he was smoking since he was 11.
well, I think like everybody around me was smoking weed and drinking and stuff like that, but I was homeless and they were like selling drugs and stuff like that. I didn't have
Mm.
time for that. Like I made good grades and like I needed to find out if I was gonna eat tomorrow, where I was gonna sleep.
Real life
So
problems for real.
I
Yeah.
wasn't really like up on the like, oh, let me go smoke a blunt. That really wasn't the case.
Right.
But once I joined the military,
Okay.
oxymoron, but yeah, I started smoking in the military. It's the first time I sold anything.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. So, you found this drug. Like me personally, I have a kidney disease and an autoimmune disease. So, and a lot of back surgeries. So, since the age of 14, I was taking pharmaceuticals for a very long time. And when I became about 25, I was having ulcers and liver problems and more kidney problems because of the pharmaceuticals. So, my actual doctor told me, he's like, hey, man, you might want to find an alternative to manage your pain because if we keep going on this route, you might not have a kidney or a liver by the time you're
Right.
35. You were speaking to me this earlier about your health issues. Has marijuana, and you said you're pharmaceutical free.
I'm 100% pharmaceutical free. I don't even take Tylenol.
Okay.
So, I don't take anything like that. If I can buy my medicine next to my pads, that seems weird to me. So, I don't want
Great
that.
point. That
Yeah,
part
like why is that in the same section? Like
was
what? Like
on God.
yeah, like why is that
Yeah.
in the same section?
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, it's safe to say I'm assuming that cannabis has helped you get through a lot of situations. I'm assuming with pain and inflammation and anxiety, shit like that.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people think that you can just smoke weed and then like that helps your ailment, but that's incorrect. I mean, I was smoking weed from the age of 19 till maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I was just smoking it for fun. And I was sick as hell, 90 pounds, like
Wow, you got
throwing
that bad,
up,
huh?
like, you know what I'm saying, losing lots of blood, all kind of stuff, having many surgeries. And I smoked weed heavy, and that
Right.
did nothing because I wasn't smoking correctly and I wasn't ingesting the THC correctly. So
Talk to us about that a little bit.
all these things that like we see all these memes and they're like, oh, cannabis can cure all. The correct dosage, the correct way to take it, the correct everything is how it can cure. It's not like, hey mom, I'm just curing my whatever. You know what I'm saying? No, you're not. You're just smoking to get high, which there's nothing wrong with that because I still do that as well. But I medicate myself mostly with distillate, which is the purest form of THC. So if you're gonna work on healing your body, you obviously want the most organic way, which would be in a distillate form. So that's why I make my treats that way. And anything that I infuse, if I infuse dinners or anything like that, I definitely make it that way. And I try to collectively add it to extra virgin olive oil. And that right there is one of the Earth's most natural ways to cure a lot of things. So it's said to be like 10 times stronger than amoxicillin.
Which is an
So
antibiotic for anyone who doesn't know.
right. So inflammations or anything like that, it's a lower grade, I guess, of prednisone or steroids or whatever, per se, kind of in that same ballpark. But um, basically, extra virgin olive oil, a young kid proved that it was more beneficial and worked better than most of the things out there that are pharmaceutical drugs put in your medicine. Use that very loosely, but
And
I
was it you were telling me the not misconception, but
mislabeling stuff.
oh, the gelatin, like using THC with gummies. That was that you
Right.
telling me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
Explain that a little bit for someone who's more gummy heavy when they do their
so I feel
edibles.
like I talk about this a lot on any show that I'm on. This does come up because I'm very like a big advocate on not consuming gummies in any kind of manner. Honestly, unless you really know what you're taking, I feel you shouldn't have that on the market without being told that, there's a lot of people that take gummies and they're vegans and they're not told that this is made of like hooves and blood
Some
of
swine.
animals and
Right.
things
Yeah.
like that. And then despite all that, the digestive process of gummies, it's horrible. It's comparative to steak. If you know a person that eats steak every single day, oh my God, they're backed up. They can't do anything. Like they're not digesting. So these people that are eating gummies, and you say pop them like candy because they are. And so
Yeah.
they're just taking these things like candy all the time and they don't digest. So here we have this candy that has a hard time digesting. Then you're going to take the candy and inside of it, you're going to put THC. So if it's not digesting correctly, like mostly everything else, you're not getting the full percentage or the full dosage of what you're asking for. So you're asking for, let's say this one pack of gummies is 100 milligrams. If your digestive system for a cake takes 2 hours and your digestive system for a gummy takes 7 days,
Is that my whip?
how are you even how are you even possibly getting the dosage that you asked for?
Makes complete sense. And I'm glad you said that because mom has cancer right now, and I was giving her gummies until you. Well, not I haven't because you
There's
just told
definitely
me. So
different
I'm gonna
ways.
switch up how I give her edibles.
Now, I'm not saying, if you like the taste of gummy and you're okay with the blood and stuff like that, that's fine. It's fine for me. I eat meat. I don't give a fuck. But, you know what I'm saying? I think this should be said. I don't think that
Absolutely.
we should be hiding this from
Absolutely.
the culture. Like, I get so upset. Like, I go online and I'll see, like, um, gummies made for the black community. And I'm just, like, livid. And
Oh,
I'm one of
whoa! I
those
never
people
seen this
that
yet.
goes on there and I'm like, no, don't do this to our black
Oh
community.
God,
Yeah,
for
so
real.
I'm that person and I'm like, it's not good for you. And like I have people like attack me and stuff for saying positive stuff. But it's okay because one less person that's out there being fooled is one less person out there being fooled because how can something be 500 milligrams but it takes a week to digest?
That part.
How?
Talk
How?
that truth,
You
Shine.
know what I'm
Let them
saying?
know.
It makes no sense. How can that get into my body? And speaking that I have Crohn's, and so Crohn's is a deficiency to where your body doesn't absorb all the nutrients that are in the food that you intake. So can you imagine? I already have absorption problems,
Yikes.
and then I take a gummy.
Yeah, yikes. For
I
real.
might be high tomorrow. I might be high next week off the gummy I took on Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? Like that makes no sense to me. Like, I don't
And it makes
know.
sense now because my mom Dukes be like, yo, it just takes like 4 hours for me to feel it. I'm like, yo,
Right.
4 hours?
Right.
That's wild. I gotta take that shit
Mine
at
take
6 to feel that shit at 10.
mine take 10 to 15 minutes.
Right, exactly. So huge difference. And the olive oil thing is really dope. Shout out
Yeah,
to
because
homie who was a guy?
right,
Or girl?
it was a guy. Yeah,
Yo,
I
shout out
think he was
to
like
young
a
Buck
young
who
college student or something.
yo, salute to him.
Yeah.
So obviously being an advocate, seeing the benefits of your life, what made you want to bring a community together to enjoy cannabis and give me a little bit of background as to why you started really wanting to do the events that you do.
Okay, so initially in my life, like I said, I'm very into marijuana since since I started partaking in it. But I've always been the kind of character where I'm considered the mom of the group to everybody. Even when I was in my 20s, everybody used to call me mama and stuff like that. And that's always been my gist because I'm always making sure people are having fun coming to my house. My house is always the hub. I'm planning the events. I'm that friend where I'm like, y'all, let's go out. Let's have a good time. Let's make sure we're organized. Y'all don't be need to fucking everybody. I'm like the mom, like the serious mom. Like I'm like the cock blocker and everything. So
Really?
I am. I am.
Why do you feel the need to be the cock blocker?
I
Because you
feel
feel like
like
it's
we
just
all can have fun. Let's just go have fun. Y'all can do that later.
that part.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying forever cock block. I'm not at your house like,
No.
But I'm like, hey, why does like men and women have to be together and that has to be some kind of sexual like tension?
That's a very
Like
American thing too.
we need to create the normalcy to be around males and females and not feel like there's a sexual like energy.
Yeah, and
And
we find that in our if you go to a lot of European
Hey,
countries.
that's that demon energy, yo.
for
Yeah.
real,
We live. Yeah,
I'm
everything's
big
fine.
on the
No,
energy
I can't hear
thing.
you. Say it again.
It's
Demon
it's
energy.
a demon energy, man. Especially in Tampa, bro.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
that
I
like-
think
spirit
it's
in town.
everywhere.
It's
I-
everywhere.
It's
It's
literally
everywhere.
especially in America. It's definitely everywhere.
Yeah.
That pool of that energy. Like, okay, I'm gonna go and get dressed, and I'm getting dressed because I know I might meet. Like, I don't even go out and say I might meet. I'm not even looking for that. I'm going out and I'm like, I might have fun, but I'm not. I might meet. That's so silly to me.
Yeah.
I'm not about to be giggly in the car like, oh my god, there's boys out there.
Yo,
Like, so
I'm
fucking what?
telling you.
If anything, I'll be
Hilarious.
like, oh my god, there's boys out there. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a total different tone. But yeah, so that's always been me.
but culturally in the other countries, it's very common for males and females to be friends, and husbands being okay with it, and wives being okay with it. There's no intention of anything sexual
Right.
happening. I'm a person who I have a lot of female friends, and even though I have female friends, or females that I do whatever with, I do have solid female friendships, and those friendships has been the most beautiful friendships that I have had. And even girls that maybe I had something sexual with and we became friends afterwards, I find that to me the most beautiful thing, that we could have had that, and that was one point, and still be friends on a real
I
intimate
agree.
level, and actually be friends,
I
without
agree.
ever having to go into that place again. So for
I'm
sure.
going through that.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
a
said
lot
you're
of
going through
people-
that?
Yeah, like
A lot of people don't think that that's possible, that you can
Exactly.
like have sex with someone and that part of your relationship end, and you understand that that's done. Honestly, when you're done with someone, let me just be real. When a woman is done with someone, she's done in that capacity. So all that doesn't even register when she's looking at you. It doesn't register, oh, we used to fuck with each other. What registers is what's going on right now, because once you lose that attraction to a nigga, there's no getting it back.
Absolutely.
It's gone.
Yeah,
so,
it's gone, for sure. I
So
agree
for
with that.
other niggas to feel like, oh,
Yeah,
you're
for
around
sure.
your baby daddy, that's just because they still carry on those types of feelings. That doesn't happen with me.
Because honestly, if that was the case, then you'd just be still fucking or being with them.
Right. Like, why even make it harder? Why go out there and start new dates? That's hella silly. Like, are you
Yeah.
calling me silly? Like, if I want to be with that motherfucker, let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll be outside. Come pick me up. But no, that's not the situation. But no, so
Yeah.
back to the question. Yeah, so I've always been like the creative mom type that plans things and everything like that. So I was working at USAA for a few years, and I got really sick, and to the point where it was hard for me to walk. I was using a cane, everything like that, and sometimes I couldn't even get out the bathtub. Like, my daughter would come have to bring me like pillow and a blanket and all this kind of stuff, and I was like, yo, I gotta quit this job. They did not want me to quit because I'm a very good worker. So I was like, my friends still joke now. They're like, how are you employee of the month with your picture up there and you hadn't been working 2 months? But I love the pay.
I
Thank
gotta
you,
like
USAA. But yeah, so I had to quit. And then I was like, while I was there, I had did a couple art shows.
Super hard.
Just helping with a show called Skin. and that was their second year, and I started helping them and stuff like that, and I started doing those shows and everything, and it just was like so fun and natural for me, and they were always telling me like what a good contributor I was to their team, and how I brought all the creativeness and all, the fun aspect of it. So I thought to myself, hey, how can I um, profit off of my ability and be happy with what I'm doing and also work for myself. And since it's me and my daughter, like I gotta be on go. There's no like time to be sick. So I put in my IG, I put creative director, event planner, or something of that sort. And some random guy, now let me tell you, I had IG, but I swear I had like 60 people I followed and like 50 people that followed me. Like nobody. And my page was private. So I'm still to this day, I don't know how this man ever even came to my page. But he DM'd me and he was like, yo, I see you're an event coordinator. Can you help me with my event? This is an event I'm doing. And he was doing it in Orlando. And it was a weed event. And I'm like, yo, I've been to one out here. There's only one guy that's throwing him out here, Slim. And I went to his event and,
Salute to Slim.
well, well, Slim, love you, but we all know what happened at that sesh, so we won't shout that out. But
I don't know Slim. I was just saying salute to him putting on the event. My apologies.
but love you, Slim. But yeah, so and it turns out the guy's birthday was my same exact birthday, August 31st. Not the same year, but the same. And he wanted the show to be on um on the first. So it literally would be the day after my birthday and a day after I was going on a cruise to the Bahamas. So lo and
You
behold,
ain't
I'm
playing with that
like,
cruise life, G.
right. So lo and behold, I'm like, yo, what? I know I could do this and this. I have tons of ideas. I was like, we could have a board. They could say what they like to do when they're high. Little sticky notes. We could have like walls that they could draw on. We could have this, that. And I was just like going to town because he literally told me I can do whatever I want to do. So I started running the group chat and everything, and he literally did zero of the work. He literally
Got
did
paid.
zero of the work
He got paid.
and didn't pay me.
Wow.
Yikes.
So
Not good business.
after like he finessed me definitely because I didn't know how much was in the profit of this type of field, especially at that time. We had like 60 vendors in the house.
Oh, wow. But fool me once type shit, right?
It was more like fool me 3 times. But
Yikes.
so
Sheesh.
I worked another show. He gave me a little bit of chump change now doing what I do and doing it by myself, knowing how much you make. I was like, what? Like literally he gave me like I don't even know, but it's probably like $200 or something like that. And what you guys don't understand, like running a group chat alone with 60 fuckers is
$200 ain't shit.
It's not easy.
right for a whole month, even while I was on the cruise and everything. So I bought the internet package to stay updated. But like I literally did everything from point to A to B, but it was a fun time. I went there, it was my birthday, so they gave us like tons of shit, and I had like a box full of everything going home, and I was like so nervous coming home. I'm like, oh my god, I have all this sweet and stuff in my fucking trunk. I'm like, I have to go all the way from Orlando. So I did a few other shows with him. Some of them weren't THC, some of them were. And like I worked AC3 with TI and stuff like that, and we
It's
did
in Atlanta.
food. They had a little art show that they had going on there, and like this like awesome space and everything.
Dope,
And I did
dope.
Supra that was out there, which is a music festival in Orlando. So I did a few things, and I had a lot of experience, which really like gave me like the motivation and the power, like, oh my God, I could do this. And I was like, you know what? I'm finna do this in Tampa. This is where I'm from. I'm finna do this in Tampa. So then what did I have? What is it? Canna Carnival. That was my first one here in Tampa. And this was like a year after I started in Orlando. I just came out of having like a big, serious surgery. Um, which in turn was a surgery. Well, we'll go on for that. But I had like a big surgery, and when I came out, I'm like, you know what? I'm finna do this show here. This show had almost 700 people at this show. The line was around the building. I just videotaped the line over and over and over. It was just packed from wall to wall the whole night.
It's beautiful.
I had other I had other team of men that were throwing sessions. They were new to it. I had been in it for a year, but they were new, and they literally bullied some of my vendors and was like, "If you vend with Shine, you can't vend with us no
That's
more."
not
And
nice.
since we vend every single week, all the time, and she only does one show a month, you can't do her shows. And they tried to throw one last minute on my day. They had like 100 people,
The
and
hate
so
is
I was
real,
like videotaping
Yo,
like mad. Like I was like, yeah, a little,
as you
a little,
should.
a little
they
floss
really
was
can
in
see the
it.
shine, bro.
Right.
They
And
can
I was
see
like,
the
The
yo.
glow up was
shine.
real.
And the thing was, is I helped this person curate their shows. When I first came to their first show, they had like 5, 6 vendors. They didn't have vendors. So I went to Orlando and my Fort Lauderdale vendors, and I was like, hey, come out here. This guy's throwing shows, blah, 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 blah. Totally helped them out. And when I was doing the show, I made sure that I picked a Sunday because they don't do shows on Sunday. I even hired their security team, which the security team just wanted the address so they could tell him the address.
Sheesh.
He sent people in to like infiltrate, and then
That's
they
too
like come back
much.
out. Like
Boy,
y'all
doing a
don't
lot
even
of extra
understand.
shit, man.
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah. So it was a lot of stuff going on, and I'm not afraid to talk about it. And I wasn't afraid then. And I had someone that I put on as a vendor, and I was like, I'll let you co-host this so I can bring your brand to life and everything like that. And he was scared of this guy. And it was just kind of funny to me because I was like, for what? This guy literally called my phone and I'm recording him screaming at me, Shine! And I'm
There's a lot
like,
going on.
yo, you sound like a bitch. He's like, oh, you're going to call me a bitch? He's like, you can only call me that. I said, well, you're being a bitch. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Maybe my vocabulary isn't extensive when it comes to you, but the only word I can like utter is bitch because you're calling me yelling about a vendor that you're mad is going to co-host something when really we know you're mad at me. So tell me what you mad at. Like, pull up.
Yeah.
Pull up. Like, you know where I live and I still live there. Pull up. You know what I'm
Shine
saying?
ready.
Just pull up.
She ready.
I be inside, so I'll be right there. Pull up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, come talk to me. You know what I'm saying? I got a little something for you, little razzle dazzle. I can help you get back on the. Let me stop. Okay, so I'm not helping
But
you at all. But I've seen that a lot throughout the years of doing shows. A lot of men have really taken advantage of me, like in the finance area. Um, to the point where now, like when I collab with people, I only do separate Eventbrites. Like it makes no sense to me to collab straight fully. You're not getting my tickets. I'm not getting your tickets. Everybody do their own work, and you do your own work, get your own thing, and then we don't have to worry about nothing
that's
else.
dope. That's definitely a dope adjustment to make.
And I
So
appreciate that life lesson. You know,
yeah.
that's a dope concept to do it like that.
So if anyone ever hears of her events, follow her on her socials. They're dope. From what I've seen, just off videos, off people who go, people who've been there, people who performed. So we're real appreciative, again, of your contribution of throwing an event that brings people like that fuck with the same beliefs, the same lifestyle that you do.
We have non-smokers in the building. We always have non-smokers in the building because my events are more like festivals.
Yeah.
So even
That's
when
what
people
how
go,
I've been describing them as.
right, yeah. So even when people come, it's like if you go to what is that, an EDM festival and stuff like that. Everybody there doesn't do shrooms, So it's just free to feel like you're not judged doing whatever you love,
sure.
And there's a lot of people that love pot smokers that aren't pot smokers.
Right, exactly.
So
Let's get into it. So you being a person who I admire your perspective in the few conversations I had with you, what do you feel like the world needs more of? Like, and when I say that, for example, I've been in organized religion. I've done NGO work, nonprofit work, and everybody who wants to help or has this perception of helping, they always feel like it has to be an extreme. Like I got to go join a Peace Corps, or I got to go open a nonprofit. And then I go to a place like Publix and I just see the way people interact with each other, and it's like, yes, it's great, volunteering for a nonprofit or doing overseas work where you feed the homeless, but like, how about we just start just being kinder in the way we interact with each other? Those small things are kind of a butterfly effect that do advocate for change.
Hmm.
So just from a minor perspective, a broader perspective, what do you really, when you look at, you have a daughter, the future means something, especially to you because she has to live in it. Your grandkids, if she has any, have to live in it. What do you feel like we just need more of?
So definitely, my number one answer every time I'm asked this is positive energy with great intent. Because you can go out and have positive energy all day long, but if you're not doing it with intent, you're not making an effort. So I can go around and smile all day, and yeah, that could possibly change people's, day. They see me smile, and I've heard people say that. But guess what? If I smile and say, I love your hair, that is a different energy than just smiling. And why can't I take that extra step? And taking that extra step made me feel good too. So I feel like positive positive energy with intent. A lot of people don't do things with intent. They just feel like I am who I am and I'm giving out the energy I'm giving out. I am who I am. And that's so sad because I don't want to be I am who I am. I want to be who I'm making myself to be. We can all be complacent, and what does that do? So I want to make myself be more positive than I can before. Like I was speaking to someone the other day, and I was telling them, when I was married, I was married to a cancer, and no offense, but cancers do need a lot of like stroking. They need a lot of like telling them that they're great people, that their clothes look good. They need a lot of that, and I lack that. I will be the best wife. Like I will cook you every lunch, dinner. You could go to work and you'll have a full course meal, hot full course meal like for you. I'm dumping the trashes. I'm washing the clothes. I'm washing the dishes. I'm folding the clothes. I'm doing everything. Like I will be the number one a wife, and I still work. But verbally, I was not a person of compliments because and it's not an excuse, but I did not grow up like that, so I wasn't really aware of how to be like that.
Mm.
Um, but after having my daughter, um, she is that person, she is that person that she can't even walk in the mall without complimenting someone's shoes, someone's hair, someone's smile, someone's down to their nails. And she just will just go to everyone, I like your hair. Oh, you're so pretty. Like and she'll just talk so freely to them and like just give them the same energy that she would give somebody that she's close to. And that to me, I know they say like the kids mimic what you're doing, but I wasn't doing that. I'm kind to my daughter and she may be mimicking the niceness that I'm giving her, but she's overwhelmingly grateful for other people being in this world. And that to me is like so beautiful that I now
It is
mimic her
beautiful.
behavior. And I can honestly say in the past like maybe 5 years, I am purposely trying to mimic my child's behavior because that pure light that she has is like incredible.
Mm.
And that leads me to believe that energy is so transferable that how can that not be the most powerful thing to give?
Mm. Yeah, and doing things with intentionality. When you intention recognizes value. So when you do an intention, for example, like let's say I want to compliment a person's like shirt, as you're saying, me stopping and specifically recognizing your shirt brings actual value to it
Mm-hmm.
because that person feels like, wow, she picked me out of anyone in this mall to
Mm-hmm.
stop out of her time to tell me my shirt's nice.
Mm-hmm.
So it recognizes value. It's a very beautiful thing, and it's pretty dope that your daughter,
Grasp it at such a
yeah,
young age.
just and is living it. Um, you were talking about your experiences being taken advantage of in business, how you pivoted, you made adjustments, and said, "I'm not going to let this happen again."
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Give me a couple more keys to success that Shine has found in life and business. What are some of the things, the keys that really open those doors?
A lot of my shows, people are kind of shocked when they see like my ticket prices start at $5. A lot of people are shocked when they see my edible that has so many, reviews for the past since 2020, um,
Okay.
are only $10 at their 500 milligrams. That's something that will be sold for
Super cheap.
50, 60
Yeah, I
bucks.
run smoke shops. That's super cheap.
Right. So a lot of people are like, "Yo, why do you undervalue yourself?" And I think that that's the silliest question that I could ever have, because undervaluing yourself, I can see if I was giving something away for free, that's undervaluing myself. But valuing people as a community, knowing
Come on.
knowing what place we are and who is privy to certain health things and who is not, knowing that to get a weed card is $100 for what, 6 months, and then you got to re-up that, and then you got to still go buy the weed, and then you got to have the membership here and do this and that and
They
that.
commercialized it,
You
yeah.
don't have time for all of that. Like, and who are we paying in the end for this misnamed weed? Weed that is like expired like a bit, still on the shelves. You know what I'm saying? Giving discounts for loyal customers, people that are being loyal to stuff they don't know what they're consuming, misnaming things, miseducating people. Um, I don't want to see that. So if I can buy in bulk, which is what I did, I bought an extreme bulk, and if I can use the money that I already had to buy that, that way I can charge what I charge. At this point, what I bought years back is still there, and I've made everything back within like that first month. So like literally I could be charging $50 if I wanted to. I guess that would, that would still, I would be somewhere else, with a little bit more cash and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like the money that you're supposed to get in life, you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get. And it might not be in paper money value. It might be in the fact that my friends are loyal. My friends really are there when I need them to support me. I was doing a podcast the other day, and we were at this club, and I'm outside. They all came outside, and I'm just doing my whole thing. And when I look to the side, all of my friends are recording me, recording clips of my podcast. Like,
It's real support.
what in the hell? You know what I'm saying? And they're all like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And that may not be money to some people, but when I think of like being rich, honestly, the only thing I ever wanted in my whole life is to be heard and to be genuinely valued. And I feel like in the community, when people talk about me, when people say things about me, they say it with respect, and they say it, with all of their heart, that they believe in me as well. And I really love that, because I feel like everyone that works with me is working with me. I may be the boss, I may be the one, calling the shots or whatever, but honestly, I see them as my team. And when I give that respect and show them what hard work is, then they're like, oh, okay. Because I have people that say, oh, Shine's group chats are like hard as hell. She be wanting us to promote. She be wanting us to do this and that. And I'm like, yo, but wait till you get to the end. Wait till you get to the end. Was this not what you thought? Nah, it wasn't, because you didn't know that it was gonna be this great. And it's because you put out that work. Like telling an artist to put their song over a flyer. Guess what? When they hear that flyer every single day going through their IG, every single day going through their Facebook, every single day, they don't even know that they know the song. So now, a month later, when they're at the show,
They know them words.
everyone in there is like, yo, da 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 da. How impressive is that? This might be their first time seeing you, but they heard this flyer over and over and over and over. Why would you tell someone who's throwing a show for you? Because I'm throwing it for you. So why would you tell somebody that's throwing a show for you, why do I got to put my music over the flyer?
Right.
Come on.
Yo, and you definitely practice what you preach, because you hosted one of my shows back in June 29th. Yo, salute to every artist. Nico Sweet was out there,
So
killed that
good.
shit.
The lineup is
But I didn't
awesome.
give you any requirements as me hiring you for a promoter, bro, and you promoted the shit out of the event. To the point where I was telling people, it's like, yo, Sean, I'm hiring her again every fucking time
Yeah, you just
because
hired
she
me as a host,
killed
but
that
I
shit.
all that's free.
Yo, bro, you really, promoted. And that meant a lot to me because, again, doing things with intention, uh, not just that, like, yo, I felt like, yo, I hired the right person, but it was genuine. Like, I knew when you showed up, you really was rocking with the shit. Um, and you did a great job. So
And
I
I have the
appreciate
best
you.
crowd control. Hire me.
Yo, for real. For real, best promoter I have worked with. And I work with some good promoters. Don't get it twisted, but you definitely have the touch. And people listen to you too. You was rounding up. People was outside chilling. Someone was coming on stage talking about Mama Bear. He was like,
Right.
get your ass inside. And they ain't say nothing. They went right inside.
Hey, man, because I feel like if you're on the lineup, the most disrespectful thing you can do is leave early or come late. That's the most disrespectful thing you can do. Even if you're just standing in the building and you're not standing by the stage, being in the building is the most respectful thing ever. And it's so disrespectful not to do it. You know, a show is what, 3, 4 hours, something like that. Come on. If you can't take those 3, 4 hours, you shouldn't be on that stage at all, in my opinion. I think that if you are on the same level, which you are, if you're on the same stage, you're on the same level. I don't care who you think you are. You're on the same stage, you're on the same level. So today, you're on the same level. Everyone that comes should be at that stage, no matter who is performing. I don't care if you don't like them. I don't care if you don't, personally like them. I don't care if you don't like that music. I don't care anything. You should be front and center at that stage for every single artist because you want that as well.
And that's the one right there.
You
You,
want
you,
that.
you want the support, but you don't want to give it.
Right, you want that. And
And that's no nice.
I find it amazing how my group chats dwindle themselves off. Shout out to anyone that's ever been kicked out of my group chats.
That's hilarious.
Um
That's hilarious.
love you. But
That's funny
you
as
have.
fuck.
I don't need your money. This is not about money. I've told you, like, I don't care about that stuff. I have a nice savings. I'm goody. So I don't care about that. I don't need your
Salute to
money.
being fiscally responsible.
Right. I don't need that. But what I do need is someone that respects himself enough. So if you don't make it to the end of my group chat, it 99.9% of the time was because you got kicked out for not promoting yourself. Crazy. Not promoting yourself. Not being present in any of the changes or conversation in the group chat. Now, mind you, I do not only put in the group chat, but I personally go to each person. If they do not comment, I personally go to them just to remind them, hey, this is what's going on. Come take a look. If I have to constantly do that, or if you can't pay the very minimum that I charge, hey, I only charge 35, $40 for my shows, 2 song sets. Like, that's pretty cheap. So if you can't pay that, whatever, you get to the last day and you think, or the day that it's due, because it's due a week before the show. But if you can't pay, then I'm sorry, this time it's not for you. I appreciate, all that. And I do let you come for free, but it's not for you because everybody's on the same playing field. Just like you have to pay for things to get done, I have to pay for the venue, I have to pay for the necessity things. And because I don't, stab everybody over the back with the prices, your spot does matter. So it's funny, like you can tell because at the end of the day, the people that made it to the end are the people that have mastered tracks and aren't showing up with unmastered tracks. The people that perform and like aren't running out of breath. It's the people that are
Yeah, because
doing
they're
putting in the
professionals.
time. Yeah,
Yeah, they
because
actually
a
care about their
professional's not
craft.
gonna let something like promoting themselves get in the way of like coming. That a
Yeah, what's the
professional
point?
person's not gonna do
I
that.
always tell artists, what's the point of doing music if no
Right.
one's going to listen to it? But in order for someone to listen to it, you got to put in the work.
Right.
Like, it really is 80-20. It's 20% talent, 80% hustle to be successful.
Right.
You know? Uh, you mentioned your daughter this earlier. Obviously, she's had a great impact in your life.
Yes.
Tell me some of the things that you worry about our future and some of the things that you are excited about our future.
So a big concern in my house, a big thing that we talk about in my house a lot is pedophiles and sex trafficking. I've been talking to my daughter about that since she was maybe 4 or 5 years old.
As you should, especially in
Um,
Florida.
I'm like, if you walk behind me, you're already taken, and I tell her that taken means that you're gonna have a toothbrush and you're gonna be locked in a bathroom and you're gonna have to clean the bathroom and eat with that toothbrush. Like, if I have to explain to my child in layman's term like exactly what will happen, then so be it. We keep all of these things so like separate from our kids, and we don't want to tell them because we don't want to sexualize them. That's so retarded to me. That is sexualizing them because you're sending them out into the world to sexualize them instead of desexualizing
Exactly.
the whole entire
That's
culture.
what it is right there. Yep.
You know, I don't lie to my child about anything. My child is very equipped to be whatever she wants to be. She's not gonna be impressed by nobody's dusty ass son. She's been all over the fucking world. You know, shit. My daughter right now is doing Duolingo to teach herself Spanish, and that's not even something that
That's dope.
told her to do.
Because they gonna think she's Spanish half the time.
And every day she's like, "Mom, can I get on?" Because I'm not a computer mom, so or playing on your phone mom. So she's like, "Mom, can I get on and do my Duolingo? I'm in third place. I finished like 5 things, and I can say blah 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 la puerta." That's all I know how to say. But
And Jaritos.
la puerta. But yeah. Shout out to Lupita. Thank you for teaching me that. But
You know what that means?
la puerta.
Yeah.
The door.
Okay, I want to make sure. Okay,
Yes.
got you.
Okay. But yeah, so I talked to my daughter a lot about
Yo, I'm sorry. That's the first time I ever met someone that the only thing they know in Spanish is the
I
door.
just said the only thing. I'm just kidding. I'm being facetious at best. But no, because my Spanish friend Lupita taught me that the other day. So I was like, La puerta, la puerta, la puerta. Just giving it out. She was like, you sound great. I love her.
Salute to Lupita.
Right. So, yeah, so that's definitely a big thing that I talk about with my daughter is just being aware of not only men but women that can be predators
Yo, for
and
sure.
keeping secrets and things like that. And that's something that we talk so heavily that it's not a shocker. I feel like if you tell your kids, "Oh, somebody can come and get you," and you just say it randomly, like that's not a steady conversation. Then
Absolutely.
when somebody comes to get there, they're really freaked out. They don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I don't want my daughter to be freaked out. Somebody come
Yeah.
get her. She gonna be like, "Yo, what the fuck you think you do?" Nah, she ain't gonna cuss. My daughter's so soft. But yeah,
So
she's
soft.
she's not gonna do any of that. But that's not gonna happen.
But you know what's
what I'm
crazy
saying?
is very important too because we live in Tampa. Tampa's always top 5 because we are a port city.
Right.
And to let people know, if your kid gets taken, if they could tell you 12, 24 hours. If your kid's taken, especially in a place like
It's a hard
Tampa,
task to find them again.
man, if you don't get them in the first 2-3 hours, they're gone.
Right.
And what people don't understand is that because we are a port city, if a country comes here, let's say a ship from China, and someone is taken and they're put on that ship, there's no warrant.
And they time it
There's no
out.
authority. There's no one that could get on that ship because it's a sovereign to that country. So once your kid is taken, and a lot of the times too, people don't realize human trafficking is just not women being taken to being raped. There's plenty of boys who get taken and end up making bricks in India for the rest of your life. Kids at age 11 and 10, they're never gonna go to prom. Never gonna have a favorite fast food restaurant to go to. Never gonna have a favorite cartoon. I mean, when we say these kids are taken, their innocence, their childhood, and their future is taken. And if you're not having, even if they're found,
Even if they're
exactly because
found.
that trauma that they already are gonna have gone through will impact them the rest of their life. So when we say talk to your kids about these things, pedophilia, the UN and countries like Canada are now demonizing using the word pedophile. They created an acronym that says like mature, it's MEPS or mums,
Yeah, I saw
mature
that.
to attracted to whatever.
Like
So
it's an illness rather than like it's a complete energy. Like you gave your energy to find children attractive. That's
absolutely.
You're not born finding babies attractive because babies don't even find babies attractive. What the hell?
And if we're not talking to our kids about this, society is now trying to minimize the negative impacts of what that does to a kid. You know, I was raped twice when I was a kid. It ruined me in ways that I didn't realize till I was in my 30s how to really cope with those things. But we live in a place like Tampa. It's happening every fucking day. People are naive to that fact. No, literally happening every
Right.
day.
Every second.
And if the word like pedophile gets taken away, and we start looking at these situations and not, bringing the true justified zealousness that it deserves, more kids are going to be robbed of their innocence. More kids are going to be taken advantage of. So talk to your kids, man. Uh, I'll talk on the mic. I don't mic. Yeah, because I want to hear this.
Mhm.
That's right. I was just right to it yesterday.
That's a song that they want me to collaborate. And
Okay.
it's about the kids, the
Yeah.
babies, about kind of stuff. Like, because that shit is happening.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of people talking about it.
At all,
You know,
and but what it is it's a lot of adults talking about it though. It's not adults talking to their
Yes,
children.
adults, yeah.
Yeah,
But it's
and
not
we could
that.
talk about it all day long.
Yeah,
If the
but
ones that are being affected aren't even aware that this is happening,
yeah,
what the fuck?
yeah.
They're not even being aware
That's
that
why.
these
That's
teachers
why
can have this power.
music, to take, like his ears,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not parents like. It's not gonna be parents like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And
It's-
another thing that I talk to my daughter about is rape culture. So, not
Mm.
letting, oh, she has short shorts, so she's this type of woman, or she's this type of girl,
Such
or
bullshit.
you know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of men, and I tell my daughter, a lot of men don't understand what rape culture is. They hear the word rape and they're like, oh, I'm not a rapist, and that's not even nearly what rape culture is. Rape culture is the misunderstanding, whether purposely or not, um, and looking at a woman in a sexual way when it doesn't have anything to do with sex. So if you're with your homeboys like, oh, I'll tap that, look at that ass, da 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 da, and you're laughing, you're contributing to rape culture. Would you like your mom to hear that? Would you like your sister? Would you like somebody to treat someone you love like that? Like, that woman might want to go out and feel herself. You know what I'm saying? We
Sure.
was born naked, so be however you want to be. And I definitely want my daughter to understand that being however you want to be, dressing however you want to dress, that's up to you. And nobody is allowed to judge you in a way because they feel you're sexy, so you're a whore. Like, they feel you dress this way, so you're a whore. Don't take none of that, because that's just ignorant as people, whether it be women or men, because there's a lot of women that partake in rape culture, and they
And that's
think
how it
that shit's
starts. Most
funny.
people don't realize the seed's planted with a thought. So it just doesn't start with a guy just forcefully forcing himself on a woman.
Hmm.
It starts, like you're saying, like little
And some guys
jokes,
really think
little.
that you have to say no like 500 times. They're like, if a woman is even jokingly saying no, sometimes a woman jokingly says it in that way because she feels uncomfortable to say it like, you know what I'm saying? So she's like, no, I don't want to. And you're still like thinking she's joking. That's not a time to joke. And if that girl is joking like that, you need to sit down and be like, yo, I need to know for real. Do you want to do this or not?
Yeah.
And for one, you're gonna get a lot more respect for doing that. So I don't know why you wouldn't want to do it. For two, you'll probably get further than you trying to push yourself on someone. Like, sometimes women are having that second thought. Sometimes men are having that second thought, and they're allowed to say no. And it doesn't matter if it's said in a joking manner. It doesn't matter any of that stuff. We should now be taking that into consideration and understanding that just like people don't grieve the same, some people cry, some people don't, some whatever, some people, they don't have the strength to say no in a strong manner, like, no, I don't want this, I don't want you to fuck me, you know what I'm saying? And they might be like, no, you know what I'm saying? And I definitely want to teach my daughter, don't do that. Don't do that, because the only way that you can be sure a man is going to like take you seriously is to be firm on what you're saying. So the answer is no, I don't want to have sex with you. No, I don't want to hold hands with you. No, I don't want you to be my boyfriend. Some people end up in relationships just because they're scared to tell a nigga no. And
That's wild. In a
it-
relationship, you said?
yeah.
No, that's a little much, man.
Yeah, and they're scared to say anything, and then like it's like they're hanging out all the time, and then they're like weaning their way in, and
That's wild.
and the woman's just like, a lot of people have a hard time turning down a man. Period. Like, they feel like, which has happened several times in my life. A man will cuss you straight the fuck out for saying no, I'm not
That's
interested.
hilarious. You ugly. Yeah, the guys at the mall trying to get at you. Say no.
Yo,
Oh, you
gas
ugly
station,
anyway. Ain't nobody
anyway,
wants you. You just was trying to
anywhere.
get it 2 seconds ago,
Right.
and now you say she ugly. So those are important things that you talk to your daughter about. What are some of the things that you are excited about the future, like her generation? Like what are the things that you are excited about to see as a parent, as someone who cares about the future?
So I know, like, as human beings, we have this thing called negative bias. So we can have a velocity of something positive happening, same velocity as something negative happening, and the
Hold on, I
more
said that fast.
likely
Say it again. Say it again.
the
Negative
same
and positive.
energy
Mm-hmm.
as you had on the positivity would be the same energy as you had on a negative um, incident that happened, and more of the time we will retell the negative energy story and
Mm.
remember the details of the negative
So
energy
true.
story instead
Yeah.
of the positive one.
Wow. So true.
So I feel like as a whole culture, we're not giving these kids fucking high fives for the things that they're doing that we could never have dreamed of.
Right.
Like, my daughter is in the very first ever elementary National Honor Society.
Okay.
Like, yo, what the fuck? That's impressive. And to know that these kids are paying more attention in school than we ever were. You know what I'm saying? Like, division, what grade were we in? Like
Right.
20th
Exactly.
grade learning division. Like,
You could.
these
You
kids,
guys can sit down if you want to with that
they
stuff.
are learning division in like second grade. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we not impressed with what they're able to carry?
Mm.
So I'm just really impressed with my daughter and the different skills that she has. Like, she sews, she has her own business, she paddle boards, she's just an adventurous kid. She boxes, she runs track, she does everything, and she's very articulate. So I'm excited to see where all of this goes because she's so creative in everything that she does, in her artwork, everything. She's just an A1 kid, and I know a lot of parents be like, "Man, my kid does not get on my damn nerves." I miss her right now. I know she about to go to bed, and I'm about to text her and be like, "You ain't gotta go to bed till I get back home." But like, I miss my daughter all the time, and
Right.
I think she's just the fucking best. And she's 11 years old, and we're 30 years apart, but she is literally like my soul's perfect match, and I'm excited for everything she's
Mm.
about to do. I'm excited for what she's about to put into the world because she already is every time she meets somebody. Like, Serge, when you met her, were you not like super impressed? She's just the most wonderful, like, genuine, like,
Mm.
amazing person. So I'm excited for what her and other kids that are growing up like her can really do for this world. We're seeing these kids younger and younger, different races, different nationalities, everything being like having college degrees at 12 years old. How freaking awesome is
That's
that?
incredible.
We're
Absolutely.
over here focusing on the negative shit these kids are doing out here. We're like, oh, they're twerking, they're doing this. What about these motherfuckers out here making a difference? My daughter, during Black Lives Matter, we went to several riots, to several. It was just a piece to bring along. You know what I'm saying? She made her own sign. She about democracy, teaching about everything to do with government. In silence. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Because nobody's saying big ups to the moms out there doing their best. All they want to talk about is, are they trying to get child support? Guess what? $300 in child support is $10 a day. Tell me what kid is eating off
That
$10 a
part.
day unless they in Somalia, bitch. Like,
Mm.
stop complaining about $300 child support. You sound broke. So please, let's stop, okay? Don't get me on that rant. Even 500 a month. That's not, man, we not even hitting $20 a day. What? I just went to Burger King today and bought one
Yeah, it's crazy.
meal, and
It's
I
crazy.
paid like $15.
So
What the fuck?
no, it's insane. So one more question to wrap it up. 'Cause next guest just got here. How do you feel like an individual can make an impact in our future? And when I say that, there is schools of thought out there that our lives are just a blur in the landscape of the entirety of humanity. That what I do really doesn't matter. You know, I'm a firm believer against that. Someone created an iPhone, then one man created an app, and so forth and so on.
Mm-hmm.
I come from a belief system of the power of one. There was one God who sent his only begotten Son to save the world. There was one man by the name of Moses who freed his people. So in my school of belief, there's always one person who is that outlier, who is that trailblazer, who is that person that because of their contribution changes generations, changes cities. So how do you feel like an individual could really make an impact um, in our future?
I think acknowledging that you are a brand. If everyone looked at themselves as a brand, then you would care about what other people think. There's so many people out there, they're like, oh, I don't give a fuck what other people think. You're silly because you really should care what other people think. You never know when your next opportunity is going to arise. You know what I'm saying? I could be out in my pajamas and miss an opportunity. Somebody come by me and be like, oh, I seen you on blah, blah, blah. But they don't recognize me because I'm looking all bummy in my pajamas and stuff like that. Like, get up and get dressed and act like something today. You know
Hustle
what I'm
hard,
saying?
die fresh.
Get out there
You
and
feel me?
I mean, anybody that knows me, no matter where I'm at, I'm always working. I'm always talking to artists. I'm always talking to vendors. I'm always talking to people. I don't care. I've even at the stoplight, I've seen somebody smoking a vape, and I put down the window. I was like, "Yo, here's my card. Come to my festivals." You know what I'm saying? I'm always fucking working, and that's because I see myself as a brand, and I wouldn't want to fail at my brand because that's embarrassing. So let's not embarrass ourselves and treat your brand with some fucking respect.
Fuck with it. Shine, always a pleasure every time I encounter you. Look forward to the event on the 29th. Look forward to you hosting
Pocus.
my album release party, which means a
Yes.
lot to me. Thank you for doing the ones in the past. The General Prolific, you have in tune to the first Enlightened Society episode or installment. Thank you for supporting the brand. Love and honor till I see you soon.
Hey, hold
Yo.
up. And one last thing, you can find me on Instagram.
Oh, talk to 'em. Give 'em the
at
socials.
your YOUR, because I know some people be messing up there, at your YOUR underscore highness, HIGHNESS underscore shine, like sunshine, SHINE. Your highness shine with all the underscores after each word. Come check me out and check the pinned items at the top to see my festivals.
Salute to Nexus. Salute to Church General. Yo.
Thank you for having me.
Everything is on the rise, nothing ain't dropping. Everything is on the rise, nothing ain't dropping. The music that the street loves. Nasty but mine. Sorrow this, sorrow that, Here we go for your stereo.
Damn, I kinda feel like they finally heard me. I beat the odds, connect with God, feeling finally worth it. Mama got me out the Bronx, but it possibly hurt me. Zombies in the lobby, ducking, plotting to possibly murder. So I really can't complain, guess I love it here. But from the Knicks to the Braves to the Buccaneers, scuffing my Nikes had me itching for another pair. Heard them niggas round and turn them right back into brother bed. Who you getting? Fresh feed lies and a white fit. Pearly white brick, feeling like I split a white brick. Even though I knew playing Mitch wasn't the right fit, I also know you puss in the sky, something like white chicks. See the crack rock, playing the back blocks, rapper jump shots. Go to school, make mad stock, and just connect doors. Know you reach and make plays. You survive for, I thrive for, that's every day.
Step after step, gotta keep the lights on. Flight after flight, worried about the time zone.